easiest commute in the National League from downtown to PNC Park. It's just a quick walk over one of the bridges here in Pittsburgh. Tonight it's game one between the Phils and the Pirates as the Phils hit the road for another long road trip. How long is this trip? We'll take a look. 3 here in Pittsburgh, then 3 against the Miami Marlins, and then 4 in Atlanta. 16 of the next 19 on the road for the Phils. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Matt Stairs. He's back from Canada, so he's here just in time for the heat wave here in Pittsburgh. All right, so the Phillies play the Pirates. We love coming to this ballpark. The only problem is the Phillies do not perform all that well in this ballpark.
No, they go out there and they play hard. They get good pitching, but the problem is they don't get timely hitting. Like last year, the Pittsburgh Pirates got timely hitting. Just one of those things. Every game it seemed like last year they were in the game. But here, McGowan, 13th inning, Marte hits a single up the middle, lose the ball game, 1-0 on a walk-off. So again, the pitching staff is keeping them in it. They just weren't getting timely hitting. Then all of a sudden you move to game 3 on Sunday. Papelbon on the mound. Harrison hits another ball up the middle. That's the kind of the way that the Pittsburgh Pirates hit the ball up the middle. They work gap to gap. So again, timely hitting, walked off the 11th inning. But look at the numbers over the last 6 games here at PNC Park. 9 runs in 6 games in a ballpark that's very good hitting for the hitters. The lefties or righties doesn't matter. Now the starting rotations been pretty good. Problem is the Pittsburgh's starting rotation and the bullpen's been better.
Yeah, those numbers are unbelievable for the Pirates with a 0.66 ERA for their starters. Now, their starters are a little different story when it comes to 2016. So we'll see if the Phils can get something rolling offensively. They'll have to do it against Garrett Cole, the #1 for the Pirates, his 14th start. Zach Eflin makes his 8th start for the Phils. When we return to Pittsburgh, we'll have lineups and first pitch. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. By Toyota. For great summer deals, visit your local Toyota dealer or buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank. The next time you have a question about money, don't keep it to yourself. Ask a citizen. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IVX.com. Park as we get set for a little Friday baseball. Smile, it's Friday. Brought to you by Dominion National, providing innovative high-value dental and vision benefits to area employers and individuals. Visit DominionNational.com. That's a good smile. Phillies fans are all over the city of Pittsburgh, which is always a good thing. It's a pretty easy ride, of course, along the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Leading it off in right field, Peter Borges. Odubel Herrera will bat second and center. Maikel Franco hits third, followed by Tommy Joseph and Cameron Rupp. Cody Ashley's in left field. He'll bat sixth. In the bottom third of Freddie Galvis, Cesar Hernandez, and Zach Eflin. They will face the 25-year-old from Orange, California, Garrett Cole, who comes in 5-5. But with an ERA of 3.11. Matt, there's been games, and a lot of pitchers go through this, where his team just hasn't scored any runs for him.
Well, it happens, and unfortunately for a guy that's the number one in your staff, you want to see some runs scored. He has a very good arm. 22 walks is a little high for him this year compared to 60 strikeouts.
Lefties are hitting .323 against him, and Peter Borges will lead it off, and the first pitch of the night is in there. It's 0-1.
Take a look at the scouting report. He averages 95.2. Very good arm. 4-pitch pitcher, and you can see he's a 3-1 with a 2.13 ERA versus the Phillies.
He has not won a game since the 20th of May when he beat Colorado. During that time, he's 0-2 with 3 no decisions. Now, he also has spent some time on the disabled list. He's had a right triceps strain, and he strikes Peter Borges out on 3 pitches to start the ball game. All right, Matt, I know you've been waiting for about 10 days for these. Here's our Nissan keys to the game.
Well, number one, I'll go with the pitching with Eflin. Keep being aggressive with the fastball. Establish the fastball inside and outside. And number two, Phillies hitters, time to figure it out. We've played over half a season. I like to see these guys make the adjustments from game to game and don't get back in that bad habit of swinging at some bad pitches, helmets falling off, going out of the strike zone like we saw for like 2 months or 2 months ago.
Well, Odubel Herrera is in that category of guys that are trying to figure it out. He's hitting .281. You look what he's done over his last 11 games. He's hitting only .182 in July. And he's doing a lot of that.
You know, I watched a lot of the games while I was home, and what I noticed, the biggest thing with Herrera is he has no lower half use at all, hitting wise. He's going back in that stance, but then all of a sudden he's hitting straight leg. And that's why you're seeing his butt is going towards the dugout. Upper body stays the same, but he's not using that lower half that we're so used to seeing drive that baseball. He's just hitting all arms right now.
He's behind no balls and 2 strikes. He was 3 for 26 in the series in the homestand. He is struck out. So back-to-back strikeouts for Cole. He has not thrown a ball out of the strike zone yet. 2 outs, and Maikel Franco's coming up.
That's a pretty good slider right here. That's Cole's best pitch this year coming into today. Throws it about 18% of the time, legs hitting .255. But I will say this, playing in this ballpark many times, it's not a very good place to hit until the 3rd inning because of the batter's eye.
Because of the glare of the sun?
It is so bright in center field.
Well, there's the first ball out of the strike zone on the night for Garrett Cole. 1 ball, no strikes to Franco. Franco is 2 for 18 in the series against the Marlins. And it's 1-1. Garrett Cole in his last start went just 4 innings. He allowed 7 hits and 5 runs, 4 of which were earned against the Washington Nationals. Wound up losing that game 6-0. It was his first start since coming off the DL. And Maikel Franco is hit, I believe, in that hand again, the one he was hit in last year. Oh boy, that's not a good thing. Now he's got the Evo Shield brace on it, so maybe that cushioned it a little bit. Scott Sheridan quickly comes out to take a look at it. You know, you heard it hit something, and I hope that it was the elbow pad that it hit. So they're looking at the wrist. He's up on his feet, and it looks like he's trying to stay in the game.
It almost looked like it hit the top of his hand.
Well, he fractured the bone in his left wrist last year against the Arizona Diamondbacks. In fact, his teammate Jeremy Hellickson is the one who fractured it. Take another look. I think it hit that pad, Matt, that Evo Shield pad, which is cushioned. You can see that there's padding on the top of it, so maybe that helped a little bit. Tommy Joseph is now the batter. And Joseph takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Strange part about it is that he was around the strike zone with everything. Outside again.
Well, that fastball that hit Franco in the wrist is actually the first fastball he threw inside.
Yeah, everything else was away.
Everything else was away. Fastball away, slider away. Last 2 fastballs, he's been trying to guide the ball now.
Joseph hits it the right side where the vacant hole is. And Franco is going to stop at second. So the first hit of the night for the Phillies puts runners on first and second with 2 men down. It's almost as if Tommy Joseph tried to do that. He was a little late with it, but he let it get pretty deep.
No, I would agree. It looked like he was trying to steer that ball to the second base for a base hit instead of overswinging.
Oh, with runners on first and second, here's Cameron Rupp. Rupp hitting .273 in July, but he is 1 for his last 15. To Cameron. That's a pretty good hook right there by Garrett Cole.
It is, and you can see the reaction of Cameron not picking up the spin of the baseball right there.
Is that because it's such a good hook, or is it because of the batter's eye?
Batter's eye.
Swing and a miss at the slider. It's 0-2. Good luck at McDonald's. Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Brian Cressman of Pennsburg. Phillies hit a home run at today's ball game, and Brian will win $100. Stop by McDonald's today and enjoy the new McPick 2 for $2.50 menu. I'm loving it. He's probably going to get a slider again here. It's 0-2. And he does. It's down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Garrett Cole won 19 games last year for the Pirates, so they had high hopes that he would anchor this rotation, and he essentially is the anchor. But Clint Hurdle has watched his starters exit games very early, particularly over the last month and a half. Fastball upstairs, 2-2. They're averaging 5 2/3 innings per outing, down from last year. But recently, it's been less than that. Two runners on, 2 outs. And a little dribbler up the third base side. Barehanding it is Cole, and he swings it over to first. And Cameron Rupp is thrown out. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left. Zach Eflin ready to go to work. base, still smarting a little bit from that ball that hit him. He was left on second base in the top half of the first inning. How about this before the ball game? You know, they love their football out here, but the Pirate, he's got to do a better job of, well, he's got to get some help too. Peter Borges was blitzing. Tommy Joseph swung right over the top of Cody Ashe, and the Parrot had no opportunity to get himself to settle in the pocket. Let's take a look at Clint Hurdle's lineup for tonight. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Jordy Mercer leads it off at short, then Gregory Polanco and Andrew McCutchen. Starling Martes in left, he'll hit fourth. John Jaso fifth. Francisco Cervelli, back from the broken hamate bone, is catching and batting sixth. The bottom third of Gong, Harrison, and Cole. Little different lineup for Clint Hurdle. Zach Eflin making his 8th start, 2-3 with a 4.14 ERA. First pitch is a fastball at the knees. It's 0-1.
Take a look at the scouting report. Average fastball 92.5. He can get up to 95, 96 at time. But I think the number that really sticks out to me is the 15.2 pitches per inning, which is tremendous.
And that's gone down.
Yep.
Over the last couple starts. Jordy Mercer lifts it foul off the first base side. Joseph is over and out of room. And it's 1-2.
Well, and you made a great point. The pitches per inning has gone down, and the reason why is everyone talks about how he pitches to contact. And pitching to contact doesn't mean he throws it down the middle and hopefully hits it to somebody. It means he's trying to get early contact with his fastball. He's throwing the fastball inside to lefties and to righties and trying to get some weak ground balls and weak fly balls.
The breaking ball landed about 3 feet short of the plate, and it evens the count up at 2-2. Three balls and 2 strikes to Mercer, who is starting his 22nd game as the leadoff batter for the Pirates. Pirates have a good batting average. They're hitting .261 as a team. That ball is hit the opposite way. Borges on the run, scampering toward the wall, and he makes the catch just shy of the wall. That's how you go back on the ball if you're an outfielder. What a way. And
a lot of that play right there has to do with early work and coming up, taking balls off the bat. This is a bigger warning track than a lot of ballparks. A lot of ballparks you take maybe 3 steps and you're at the wall. Here's a little bigger, and he knew once he hit that dirt, he knew how far he had to go to the wall to make that play because he didn't even hesitate.
Peter Borges' name has popped up a lot in trade talks as we get closer to the trade deadline. He put aside that first month. He has had himself a solid year. Gregory Polanco takes a strike. It's 0-1. Polanco hitting just .209 here in the month of July. There are a couple of Pirates hitters that are down in July. Popped it straight up. Cesar Hernandez, the second baseman, makes the call. 2 outs. Tonight's game is also available in Spanish. Just use the SAP button on your television or change the language to the menu on your cable box. Angel and Bill are here in Pittsburgh. They're about 3 booths down. 2 outs for Andrew McCutchen. Former MVP is not having an MVP type year. 245. Something about facing the Phillies, though. He's got good numbers against them. Hitting .301 against the Phils with 20 extra base hits during his career.
Good location, that last fastball inside.
And McCutchen is hit by a pitch. And that's a warning for Zach Eflin and for the Phillies and the Pirates. So a little retaliation for Maikel Franco getting hit in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, 1-1 fastball. Get him in a good spot. Interesting, though, that if it's a retaliation after throwing a fastball inside, just missing for a strike, second pitch is for a strike. Makes you wonder if he just missed a spot. Or did he hit a spot?
I think he hit his spot. One ball and no strikes.
Well, if he did, hats off.
Yeah, McCutchen didn't blink. I mean, he probably thought there might be something going on. McCutchen is a threat to run, although he's only stolen 3 bags this year. He's been caught 5 times.
You wanted to go right there.
Well, this is a challenge for Cameron Rupp because this is a very good base running team when you take a look at their statistics. They've stolen 73 bags this year. That's 3rd best in the National League. Mostly because of the guy at the plate right now. He has stolen 33.
I would say it's a bigger challenge for the pitchers to change their look up, hold the ball a little longer, quick pitch, slide step. Just don't get in a routine where these guys can count 1,001, 1,002, then you're going home. Hold for a little while. McCutchen wants to go, though.
Good breaking ball, and it's 1-2.
No, very good breaking ball. Good location even for a strike.
Marte did not play yesterday for the Pirates. He had the flu. Flu-like symptoms.
It's a good thing he did.
That's true because Matt Joyce had a good day.
He had 4 RBIs.
Opposite way. That ball's well hit. Going back on it is Borges, and he tracks it down. Side is retired. 2 plays by Peter Borges. He's getting his sprints in.
It's all those quick moves that he did with the Pirate earlier before the game. They got him ready for that play.
Second to start a 3-game series. It wraps up on Thursday the 4th at 1:05. It's a Citizens Bank Business Person Special and a Pride of the Phillies print featuring Ryan Howard and Carlos Ruiz for all fans. And then after the game for kids 14 and under, it's Nemours Kids Run the Bases. Get your tickets by going to Phillies.com. Cody actually fouls the first pitch back from Garrett Cole. Matt, when you're facing somebody like Garrett Cole, what is the biggest challenge? I mean, he throws mid-90s, but he's got some other secondary pitches.
Honestly, facing Cole, I would give him the curveball and the slider until 2 strikes. Where he stands on the rubber, on the hill, he stands right in the middle of the rubber, which tells me that he can pitch to the left side and the right side of home plate. So I would pick a side. So I might, my first time through, I might give him the inside corner and lean away and try to drive something to center field, and then make him make the adjustment to come back into my strength, and then I'll look inside my second at bat.
Trying to outthink him and what he might do to you.
Right, and trying to set him up for my second at bat. Now, of course, if I don't get a knock or a base hit or hit the ball hard with the ball away the first time, then I have to stay away throughout the at bat.
Cody down looking on strikes. 3 strikeouts now for Garrett Cole. Time now for our Geico quote of the day. It's from Freddie Galvis of the Phillies playing better on the road. I don't know, man. It's crazy. We were talking about it. I don't know if we try to do too much here at home, but every time we go on the road, we click. Everything goes good. If you try to do too much, it's not going to happen. I got you, Freddie. Pete was asked about that today. He said, quite honestly, I don't have an explanation for it. He said there are just teams that go through that. He said, let's face it, it's a great place to play. Fans are great. That one's hooked to right. Polanco got turned around. It's off the scoreboard. Freddie hustling to second, and he's there sliding. Well, maybe that home run last night helped Freddie. Sometimes when guys like Freddie Galvis hit home runs the way he hit it, sometimes it doesn't help. Nice swing there, though. Well,
it's a nice swing. He still is out in front of it, but look how his hands stay back. It's a nice, easy swing. Polanco got all turned around in right field. But I agree, though, with the home run he hit last night, right center, that helps out hitters because that's the direction of the barrel you want to go. Sometimes guys hit home runs down the line, getting that pull mode happy, and all of a sudden their barrel goes in and out of the zone too quick.
Swing and a miss by Cesar Hernandez. Cesar hitting .282. He was 3 for 18 on the homestand. He's not looking to move Freddie Galvis to third. He's looking to drive him in here. Boy, he does have a good fastball. I mean, that's 97.
But it's such an easy delivery. Some guys that throw 97 have that herky-jerky delivery, but his delivery is so calm and easy, and the ball just explodes. 98.
He's a young man who was drafted twice in the first round. 28th overall out of high school by the Yankees, and then the first pick overall by the Pirates. In fact, this weekend we'll get a glimpse at the future of the Pirates rotation. Garrett Cole took a little extra time, so Cesar asks for time.
Garrett Cole knows that Freddie Galvis likes to steal third base, or attempt to steal third base, so he's keeping a longer look at him at second base.
Check swing. Umpires for tonight's ball game. Behind the plate is Tony Randazzo. He's the crew chief. Todd Tishner's at first. Brian Knight is at second. And Mark Carlson is around at third. Fly ball center field. It's not deep. McCutcheon is under it. Hernandez is retired. And that'll bring Zach Eflin to the plate. Eflin's no slouch at the plate. As long as the pitch is middle in. If it's toward the outer half, he might have a little bit of trouble. Last time he was on the mound on Sunday against the Mets, he had the only hit.
Now you're saying that the pitch inside is because he steps in the bucket?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you would think a man that tall stepping in the bucket, having those long arms and that bat would be able to cover the outside corner.
You would think that.
But it doesn't.
Not all the time. Galvis goes. Freddie's fortunate that they didn't decide to throw down there. He didn't get a great jump. I mean, you don't want to make the last out at third any time, but particularly with the pitcher up. Outside. Galvis walking down the third base line. Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts in each inning for Garrett Cole, so he has 4 through the first 2. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left over at third.
As they head to the bottom of the second inning. Before the game, the Phillies announced a roster move. Pete Mackanin saying looking to bolster that bullpen. Daniel Stumpf has been designated for assignment, and Severino Gonzalez has been recalled. He is here with the team tonight. What does it mean for Daniel Stumpf, a Rule 5 guy that made the team out of spring training with the Phillies? Well, it's a little bit more complicated. Designated for assignment, he will now have to clear waivers with all 30 teams. All 30 teams have a chance to claim Daniel Stumpf. If they do claim him, he has to remain in the big leagues on their roster for the rest of the season. However, if nobody claims him off waivers, then the Phillies need to offer him back to the Kansas City Royals, who could take him back, and it would be a financial decision. They'd have to exchange some money, but he would be back on the roster for the Royals, and he could be placed in the minor leagues in the Kansas City organization. If that doesn't happen, then the Phillies could place him in their minor league system, guys.
John Jaso, Murph, sends one back toward the fence, and it's off the top of the scoreboard. Jaso will stop at second with a leadoff double. That was a towering shot. I thought off the bat it had no chance of staying in the ballpark.
Kind of get under a little bit. Ball carried well to right field. Peter Borges did a nice job finding the wall, but no chance of jumping up and catching it.
So J-So's at second, his 16th double of the year. And Murph explained that properly. You know, remember when Shane Victorino was a Rule 5 selection, he was offered back to the Dodgers. The Dodgers didn't want him. So the Phillies kept him and assigned him to AAA. He became the MVP down in AAA, and then obviously was a huge part of the success of the Phils as Cervelli bunts foul. Severino Gonzalez, he arrived. They weren't sure when he was going to get here. His flight was delayed, but he arrived and within minutes was out with the pitchers and had built up a sweat within like 10-15 minutes. He was pitching pretty well when the Phillies sent him down. Check swing. He did go according to the first base umpire. And it's 0-2 to Cervelli. Cervelli hitting .254. Spent some time on the disabled list this year with a broken hamate bone, and Cervelli strikes out. First strikeout for Eflin. In fact, when Cervelli came back, that meant our buddy Eric Kratz was designated for assignment.
Yeah, we talk about you want to put hitters away. That's how you do it. You throw truly a nasty slider on the corner. You get a swing like that. If he doesn't swing at it, it's a call strike 3. It's a good location, good pitch selection on that slider.
Now Jung Ho Kong. Gong hitting 242 with 11 home runs and 30 runs batted in. I don't think he liked that call by Tony Randazzo.
Nope. Good pitch, good fastball, good location.
There goes J-So, and now they've got him picked, and he is out at third base. That is a caught stealing. What is that, the third this year the Phillies have caught?
It is.
Adam Morgan had 2, and now Eflin has 1.
And that play usually never works.
Changing face of baseball, man.
Well, yeah, because guys usually don't. They just go, oh, here we go. I'll do the reverse inside move. And this is a good one right here.
I think the funny part about it is that the 3 times it's worked, the Phillies pitcher has been shocked that the runner is going.
But the key was he didn't panic when he threw to third base.
On the inside corner to Gong. And it's 0-2. Swing and a miss. He got him with a breaking pitch. 2 strikeouts in the inning. Did he not know?
Cameron didn't.
We move to the third. question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fan section for all the information. And please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, Matt, which Pirates catcher hit for the cycle in May of 2000? Were you here?
I think I was talking about him today in an interview.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Answer will be revealed in just a little bit. We were actually talking about him over the last couple of days with the Marlins in town. I'm not going to tell you why, but you could probably deduce why if it's the same guy. We'll talk about it later. Peter Borges will lead it off. He struck out his first time up, and he takes strike one. So he has seen 4 pitches, and all 4 pitches have been strikes. Off the knuckles. That was one of the easiest foul balls for a fan to catch you'll ever see. Probably didn't sting his hand at all.
Didn't need a glove for that one.
Out to left field, not deep, playable for Marte. Removes a half step. If your employees are on the road as much as the Phillies are, protect them with Independence Blue Cross. They're part of a national system of Blue Cross and Blue Shield plans that cover more than 100 million members across the country. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com. Herrera pulls it through the hole on the right side, a base hit. Well, that's only his 13th hit here in the month of July, but you always hope that one hit will then start something for Odubel to get back in the swing of things.
Well, and hopefully it's the ball hit on the ground that helps him. See right here, the timing leg kick goes up. Better use of the legs. Not as good as we've seen.
Talked to Pete today about it, about the lineup change. He just said it's a change of scenery. So there's nothing really else. There's not much to it, except that he thought maybe moving him one spot might open up that hole on the right side if Borges gets on, or might give him a chance to see a different pitch than he would see as the leadoff hitter.
Well, you would think you might see more fastballs hitting in front of Maikel Franco. He has been seeing a steady diet of off-speed pitches the last, let me say, 3 weeks.
Absolutely. Back toward the middle and a base hit for Franco. Odubel will stop at second. Maikel Franco still smarting a little bit from being hit by a pitch in the first inning.
Well, it's going to be sore. I mean, he just got hit by a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, but maybe getting hit with the pitch, realizing that you can't take that wild swing anymore, might calm your swing down a little bit. And I love the fact that he got hit by a pitch his first at bat, and then what's he do for his base hit? He drills it back up the middle.
Over to shortstop. This might be 2. Mercer to second for 1. And a 6-4-3 double play. Phillies have gotten base runners recently. No runs, 2 hits. And one man left. 38 innings, 3 runs for the Phils. Whew. Del Val Honda dealer, or visit DelValHondaDealers.com. Buy Jefferson. Call 800-JEF now or visit jefferson.edu. And buy the Pennsylvania Lottery's new Mustang Instant Game. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Last of the third, Josh Harrison leads it off. Harrison hitting .269. He has been in a horrific slump. At the end of May, he was hitting .329 and was among the league leaders in batting average. Well, since June 1st, his average is at .203. And that's why it's sitting now at .269.
He as well had a day off yesterday.
Yeah, he's batting 8th, which is not normally the case. In fact, this is only his 3rd start as the number 8 batter. To the left side, Freddie Galvis thought Franco was going to take it, and Harrison is safe at first. A head-first slide. I say that only because Freddie did not come charging in. He hesitated for a moment.
Yeah, he did sit back a little bit, but looked like he was sitting back to get his footwork underneath him to make a strong throw.
Yeah, maybe that was what it was. Franco did say to him that it was his fault. He said, "My bad," because he started to cut over. Cole bunts it up the first base line, and it rolls foul.
Well, I thought that ground ball that Harrison he hit, there was no chance Franco could get that ball.
I think if Michael had gotten it, I think his body would have been contorted the wrong way to make a throw. And I think he thought that too.
I mean, that ball was right through here.
Yeah.
Harrison nearly spun his wheels, but still was able to get back.
I thought he jabbed at that one.
I think Zach Eflin thought he jabbed at it too. He bunts at it and misses. Only 2 sacrifice bunts this year for Garrett Cole. You saw his numbers. He does have a home run.
I find it interesting to see right here the big mitten that he's wearing on his hand for the head first slide to second base. So why would you slide head first into first base?
That's a great point. Ball is bunted foul and Cole is down on strikes. That is the 3rd strikeout for Zach Eflin.
Just throwing it up there. Not sure why. Unless he can put it on while he's running the first.
I don't think he was able to do that. We've seen more headfirst slides this year because of Odubel Herrera, but even from other players. Headfirst slides into first.
I hate it. I just remember Kenny Lofton blowing his left shoulder out from doing it.
His shoulder. Would he take an awkward slide or something?
No, when he dove and his hand hit the bag and it shot
it jammed it,
and it jammed his shoulder and it sub-blocks or whatever it is when it goes out the backside of the shoulder. He was out for the remainder of the year in the playoffs. I know it looks good and looks like you're Johnny Hustle, but there's just way too many things that can happen from diving head first into first base.
Back toward the middle. This could be 2. Galvis has got it and an easy double play. 6-3 double play. No runs, 1 hit and nobody left. Zach Eflin 3 scoreless so far for the Phils. We'll head to the 4th. upgrade you can make for your everyday business printing. Made from 100% sustainable pulp and high-quality fibers that allow for a smooth surface and no jam copying and printing. Order by 11:30 and get same-day delivery from who? The W.B. Mason. Scoreless ball game. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Excellent pitch by Zach Eflin.
Yeah, it was. But what really impressed me was the quick slide step right here. You know, gave Harrison a lot of different looks. But there he gives a little quick slide step, which all of a sudden as a hitter you kind of panic and you rush your delivery and rush your swing. Harrison can't get a good jump, and what happens? 6-3 double play.
Here's Jordy Mercer, throws out Cameron Rupp. A quick out to start the 4th.
Now this is an area everyone talks about. Wow, the first pitch, you made an out. You're in the 4th inning. You got a short porch and right. Look for a pitch and go ahead and take a good aggressive swing at this one. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because you think, okay, you have a quick out, 1 pitch. Well, maybe this hitter's not going to be swinging at the 2nd pitch. That's why you go ahead and you just square it up a little bit. At least that's how I used to think when I would hit. I didn't care if it was 3 pitches either. I mean, really, you think about it. If he has two outs on 2 pitches, you take the next one, you got 3. Okay, well, I just hit a fly ball and I'm out in the 4th one. What's the big deal?
It's very true. He tried to throw that same pitch that he got Ashley looking his first time. And it was low and away. 3 balls, 1 strike. Ashley's had some pretty good swings at Garrett Cole, even though he struck out his last time up. Whether that equates to some success eventually, I don't know. He's a little late with some of them. Out to right field. It's not deep. Harrison into foul territory, and he runs out of room. Garrett Cole here at PNC Park. ERA under 2 in his last 4 starts. He's 10 games over 500 for his career. And we mentioned his success against the Phillies. Well, some of that has come here at PNC. Phillies have only scored 3 runs in their last 38 innings here at PNC Park. Hit sharply, but right into the shift, knocked down by Mercer. 6-3 on that putout, shortstop to first. Introducing Storm Ranger 10 from NBC 10, the only Doppler radar system on wheels. It goes to the storm before the storm reaches you. For the most accurate, most reliable weather information anywhere, trust your NBC 10 First Alert weather team and Storm Ranger 10. Count on it. Looks like we have a Phillies group that's made their way out to PNC Park. Sometimes you think about it, it's a shame that we don't play the Pirates more than once here and once
I would agree.
in Philadelphia. Freddie Galvis doubled his first time up.
Turn them loose, 3-0.
Well, back-to-back 3-ball counts. Out to shallow right center field. McCutchen will give way to Polanco, and the inning is over. Nothing across for the Phils. First 1-2-3 inning for Garrett Cole. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. Toyota.com to find your RAV4 today. Toyota, let's go places. Let's go Phils. Well, the Phillies have made a change over at third base. We kind of expected this might happen just after the last swing by Maikel Franco. Team Buchanan has put Andres Blanco in. So if we get an update about Maikel Franco, we'll let you know. Of course, he was hit by a pitch his first time up. Take a look at it one more time. Hit right in the wrist that he broke last year.
And hopefully the report comes back of a contusion of the wrist.
Here's Polanco to lead it off, and he swings at the first pitch. Look out, Rick Credits. Oh my. That'll get your heart moving.
So it's the advantage of being short because you can't look over this thing. You have to squat down and look underneath it.
Popped up left side. Freddie Galvis puts it away. So one out here at the bottom of the fourth. Well, Murph, this is kind of a homecoming for Pete Mackanin. He always enjoyed his time here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it certainly is. You know, Pete Mackanin's been in baseball for a long time, been in a lot of different places, but here was the place in Pittsburgh where he first became an interim manager. Of course, he was the bench coach for Lloyd McClendon back in 2003 through 2005, and then when McClendon was relieved of his duties, Pete Mackanin became the interim manager for the first time in the big leagues. And, you know, he certainly has fond memories of those times, and after that he went to Cincinnati and then of course to Philadelphia. But you know, he comes back here, and you mentioned, Tom, a little bit of a homecoming, and he has fond memories, but obviously some folks also have fond memories of him. The folks at Prantl Bakery decided to send over a cake to Pete Mackanin. When he arrived at his office today, the manager's office, there it was a burnt almond vanilla cake. And
it was all of that.
Yeah, and we all sampled it.
Wait,
and,
hold on, not all of us.
well, Matt did not. Why didn't you sample it, Matt?
I was full. From the pizza. Sorry, Murph. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's quite all right. I'm not much of a cake person, but it was very good. And so obviously he's very thankful for that. But always nice to come back to a place that you got to start. And for him, his big league managerial career started here.
Well, and you walk around this ballpark, people that work here not only talk about the great cruises that you could take on the Duchess, but they also ask how Pete's doing. And they leave you with, man, we love Pete Mackanin. 1 ball, 2 strikes to McCutchen. He pulls that foul.
No, we had a good sit down with Pete today. You, myself, Murph, Scott, Fransky. Good chat about all the hitters, all the players, pitchers, playing here, golfing.
Now it's pulled to left. Cody Ashe is under it. And he makes the catch. Larry Anderson would have been in the conversation, but he was starstruck by Fox News being here, the national Fox News. So he was out looking for autographs. Two away. Starling Marte is coming up.
Did you send him a text and tell him who was here? He read it, and I thought it was like a band or somebody.
Marte takes a strike. It's 0-1. Marte lined out to right. His first time up. Inside, and it's 2-1. Boy, Eflin's got a good pace to him, doesn't he? I mean, he gets it and he's ready to go again.
Good tempo. Give credit to the catchers by putting down the right numbers, or either that or he's just not shaking them off.
I think Cameron Rupp has a better understanding too of what Zach likes to throw and how he thrives. It's kind of a learning experience for both guys in that Toronto game. But since that Toronto game, Eflin has been very strong. He's allowed 11 earned runs in 42 2/3 innings since his major league debut. Sports Service delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. It includes a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. On to the top of the 5th inning. Cesar Hernandez flied out his first time up. Phillies have managed 4 hits against Garrett Cole, who has already surpassed his inning total from his last start. Pirates are trying to figure out what they're going to do with the trade deadline coming up. The Cubs, I don't want to say that they're running away with the division. Their lead is 6.5 over St. Louis and 8.5 over Pittsburgh. But it's a rather comfortable lead. It's the largest lead of any division leader in the National League, and second only to the Indians in the Central and the American League. But the Pirates are 20-25 over the last 45 games. So they can't afford to allow the Cubs to stretch that lead. Pirates are 3 games out of the wild card. St. Louis, the Mets are ahead of them, and LA and Miami are leading the wild card. As Hernandez is down looking. Well, last year the Pirates at this point in the season were 55-40. I mean, they were 15 games over 500, but they were still in second place in the Central, but comfortably atop the wild card. Eflin hits it sharply on one hop to Mercer at short. But there was a point where they thought that they were okay until they went 9-19 in June. However, they've been better in July. In fact, there are 11 wins in July, tied for the most in the National League. Peter Borges 0 for 2. He has struck out and flied out to left.
Now this is where you have to take a pitch.
Yeah, this has been pretty quick so far,
Yeah.
particularly with Eflin swinging at the first pitch.
Now this is where you take 2 pitches. Take a strike.
On the outside corner, and it's 2-1. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, San Diego is taking on the Nationals. That game is in D.C. Jason Worth, solo home run. Washington up 2-1. By the way, he's putting together a pretty decent year. First month wasn't great, but since then.
Ever since he got called into the principal's office.
Yeah. Past the diving Gong. Mercer has it. Jump throw in time. Boy, you got to make some kind of throw to throw Peter Borges out on a chopper like that. And the side is retired. No argument or request for a review from the Phillies. 6-3 on the putout. This is an excellent play. Derek Jeter used to do this all the time for the Yankees. 1-2-3 5th inning. We'll move to the bottom of the 5th. Citizens Bank Minor League Report on this Friday night. Lehigh Valley yesterday defeated Louisville 7-3. Brock Stassi 3 for 3, a home run, 2 runs. Reading lost to Hartford. Reese Hoskins hit his 27th home run. Clearwater defeated Fort Myers. Will Morris went 7 innings, and the Crosscutters defeated Batavia in 10. Here we're on to the bottom of the 5th inning. Zach Eflin will face John Jaso, Francisco Cervelli to start things off. Pirates had Jaso leading off a little bit this year. They like his on base percentage. .340 on base percentage. Out to left center field. Herrera's on the run, and he curls over to make the catch. There's a lot of room out there. And what a way here in the 5th. Francisco Cervelli will be the hitter. Pirates, like the Phillies, have struggled offensively since the All-Star break. They're hitting just .222 coming into this ball game. Boy, Cervelli really late on that first swing.
See if we can get that put away slider right here. Same location as a fastball, just a little lower.
There you go. 5 strikeouts for Zach Eflin. Friday, August 12th is Toyota Wall of Fame night at Citizens Bank Park. Jim Thome will be inducted into the Phillies Wall of Fame. Commemorative print will be given out to all fans. Compliments of Toyota. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. It was an interesting story on Fangraphs, Fangraph.com, where Jim Thome was mentioned. Remember that 18-inning game that the Pirates played against the Nationals recently?
Yes.
Andrew McCutchen was 0 for 8 in that game.
Mm-hmm.
That ball smoked deep to left center field. Herrera's on the run to the wall. He jumps and he makes the catch. What a play by Odubel Herrera. He covered a lot of ground, got to the spot, and was able to leave his feet and reel it in. We'll tell you that Jim Thome story another time. Boy, he's had a couple of plays where he hasn't been able to do that recently. Right there, though, that's some athleticism.
Cross Philly of the week is taking his power seriously in his major league audition. Tommy Joseph arrived after his call-up and has sent fly ball after long fly ball into the outfield seats. His first 13 career home runs came in his first 171 plate appearances, the fastest pace in Phillies all-time history. In addition, he is among the NL rookie leaders in average, home runs, slugging percentage, extra base hits, and RBIs. This Phillies rookie is ranking, and it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless.
Well, there is Tommy Joseph. The Phils hope that maybe Tommy Joseph or somebody in the middle of the lineup can pop one as we go to the top of the 6th inning. How about Odubel Herrera with this catch? I mean, Matt, he did everything right.
He did. He broke whether he thought the ball was going to come down. He got back to the wall quick enough. Timed his leap, made a nice play. How often do you see a guy make a nice play, then he leads off the next inning?
Well, let's see if his adrenaline will lead to some success here. I mentioned that he's had a couple of those plays recently where he hasn't made them. Last night aside, there was that one ball where he came in on and it went over his head for a triple. But there were a couple others that he went back to the wall and he just didn't get to the spot. And the ball went over his head. Inside. By the way, a report from the Phillies clubhouse is that Franco was taken out of the game just as a precaution because of being hit by a pitch. I don't know if there'll be an update if they take x-rays or anything like that, but if there is, we'll let you know. Sounds like, though you mentioned it was sore and probably tightened up. That's why they took him out. Ground ball off the bag. Harrison will pick it up, and Odubel is safe at first. That's his second hit. That was an even better swing than the first hit.
Well, it was either going to be a double or a good play by Jaso. I think he would have made the play. Got some love hitting the bag and get another base hit.
Blanco up for the first time. Pretty healthy swing by Andres.
Yeah, it doesn't take Whitey very long to get loose in that batter's box.
Hitting .253 with 3 home runs and 18 runs batted in. He's cooled off a little bit. He hasn't played as much recently. Cesar and Freddie Galvis have played almost every day. Popped it up, foul territory. Gong over toward the dugout, and it's off the roof of the dugout. Thought that gentleman was going to hurt himself on that attempt over the dugout.
Blanco was probably told he was going into third base, so he got his arm loose pretty quick. I imagine at the end of the inning he went down, took some flips down in the batting cages to get loose. If not, he's got one strong back after that first swing.
Boy, good job by those fans, those 3 fans who went right to that gentleman when he tried to make that catch. And he's up on his feet, which is a great sign. 0-2 pitch and a throw over. That poor guy was trying to make the catch, and I think people got in his way, and I think he lost sight of the baseball, and it was hit so hard. And a hit by pitch, so Blanco's aboard. That'll put runners on first and second. I think Cervelli was asking the home plate umpire if Blanco may have swung at that. He was asking something. Have a consumer complaint? Harry Hairston and the NBC 10 response team can help. Just visit NBC10.com or call 610-668-7377. NBC 10 responds. Count on it. Tommy Joseph takes. Oh, he was nowhere near close to swinging. But that is what they were asking. I think I know the answer to this. Number 4 hitter, 2-0. He's not taking a strike at all, right?
Unless it's a pitcher's pitch. Wow, 2-0 slider.
Yeah, that's interesting. He's got a very good slider, but his command has been off a little bit. Here's Cameron Rupp on deck. Still nobody out. Ball 4. He walked him on 4 pitches. We might see Ray Searage momentarily, the pitching coach for the Pirates. He's on the top step. He started up, then went back to his spot. Now he's back out there. So the bases will be loaded for Cameron Rupp in a scoreless ball game. A reminder that Bruce Springsteen will be visiting Citizens Bank Park for 2 shows. The first one is sold out the 7th of September. Show number 2, Friday, September 9th. There are still tickets available. Bruce Springsteen and the East Street Band will be bringing the River Tour to Citizens Bank Park. Go to Phillies.com/Springsteen for more information. I think Bruce is in Denmark right now performing. He's all over Europe. Bullpen for the Pirates. Jared Hughes, who had a big meet and greet before the ball game today. He met with a bunch of people out behind home plate. Cameron Rupp takes low. Not afraid to pitch backwards.
The 1-0 slider. Cameron's setting him up.
You think so?
Yeah, gonna throw it again.
Fastball hit the opposite way. Polanco comes on and he knocks it down on 1 hop. 1 run is in. Blanco will hold it third, and the Phillies take a 1-0 lead. And still nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. Oh, good job by Cameron to put that ball in play. Blanco was about to leave his feet. So Odubel would have scored anyway if he caught it.
That's a good fastball inside. Fights it off. Nice easy swing. Got lucky right there, keeping that ball in front of him.
Yeah, because that ball was hit pretty hard, so if it got past him, that would have cleared the bases probably. Cody Ashley takes a strike. Excuse me, 0-1, 98 on that fastball.
You mentioned earlier, Cody's had some very good swings today versus Cole. His last at bat, he hit a ball hard into the shift. Having some good swings, just getting underneath it a little bit. Use that top hand.
Fouls it back.
See, that's getting under the baseball right there. That's why it looks like he's getting beat, because the barrel is dropping underneath that baseball and it's just clipping it foul. That's why he's got to think about going down, like almost like you're chopping out a tree. Throw the barrel, don't guide it to the baseball.
A little better.
A little better. The pitch was up. Better swing right there. You can tell by a better swing because it's a foul ball straight back into the net instead of going over the visiting dugout or the home dugout on the third base side. Sometimes I just find Cody thinks too much about having a good pass to the ball instead of just throwing that barrel.
Yeah, letting his athleticism kind of take over.
Yeah, I mean, he has such a great setup. He has a very well balanced setup. Really, it looks like every time he's going to take a swing, he hits the ball hard. That's the look he has in the batter's box. It's just a matter of not worrying about so many mechanics of staying inside the baseball and keeping my hands inside. Sometimes it's good just to let it fly.
He went, according to the home plate umpire, and Ashley strikes out. So Cole wins that battle, but it's still just one out and the bases are loaded. Well, that was a frustrating at bat for Cody. Just tell by his reaction. 6 strikeouts now for Cole.
Yeah, it is a frustrating at bat, and I don't think it's because of swinging at this pitch right here. It's probably because of the fact that he's had some pitches to hit, and he's fouled them off. That's where you get frustrated at, because you should never have been in that situation if you're swinging the bat well or if you square one up.
So now it's up to Freddie Galvis with 1 away. Galvis has doubled and flied out to right field. Breaking ball. Boy, he is using his breaking pitch, right, to get himself back into some rhythm.
You're right, he is. Especially with that first pitch, he's been throwing a lot of curveballs or sliders. And so far tonight versus the left-handers, he likes to throw that fastball inside.
Check swing. Third base umpire says he went. Boy, I didn't think he went on that one. Mark Carlson is the third base umpire. Andres Blanco is pleading the case of Freddie Galvis. Let's take a look. Oh, man.
That wasn't even close.
That wasn't even close. You very rarely see an umpire miss something like that. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts. Well, he got put in the hole on the check swing. 7 strikeouts for Garrett Cole. Cesar Hernandez is 0 for 2.
I know you're a fastball hitter, Cesar, but sit slider.
I think you have to,
just
right?
take a chance.
He backdoored that one.
This is just a show me pitch.
Jared Hughes has stopped throwing for the moment. A liner out towards center field. Andrew McCutchen will wait for it. Garrett Cole allows one, but the Phils leave him loaded here in the 6th inning. They had nobody out, a run in, and the bases loaded. So they'll take a 1-0 lead into the bottom of the 6th. Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com. By Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. Well, it is as picturesque a setting as you will find here at PNC Park, with the downtown across the bridge. Garrett Cole might be done. We'll see. You don't forget he's made, this is his 2nd start since coming off the disabled list. He worked out of a bases loaded jam. He allowed a run, but then got a couple strikeouts and a flyout with the bases loaded. Matt Joyce is out on the on-deck circle to pinch hit. And Josh Harrison waves at the first pitch from Zach Eflin, who's having himself another strong outing. There's Joyce. Eflin's retired 8 consecutive hitters. Fly ball right field. Peter Borges has room. And with one out, Matt Joyce will pinch hit. Nope, they're going to put somebody else up to pinch hit. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. Well, when we arrived here in Pittsburgh, we weren't exactly sure who would be pitching for the Pirates tomorrow afternoon in the Saturday afternoon game versus the Phillies. Well, we know that now, and it is a name that baseball fans may or may not know, but certainly they will in the future. It is Tyler Glasnow. He's one of the top prospects in all of baseball. A righty. He's 6'8", and he throws the ball pretty hard. And he's already made his major league debut earlier this year in July. Came up for one game, pitched fairly well for the Pirates. They sent him back down, but he is coming back up. Just 22 years old. As I said, one of the best prospects in all of baseball. And he was a 5th-round draft pick for the Pirates, number 5 pick for the Pirates a couple years back. He throws the ball very hard. He is a little susceptible to the walk, so you got to be a little patient. He does get himself into a little bit of control issues sometimes, but Philly's going to face a guy that they expect to be pretty darn good going forward. Interesting story about him. He went to Hart High School in Southern California, and they produced a couple of major league players, but they produced a former Pirate and a former Philly, Bob Walk, who was here in the TV booth today calling the game for the Pirates. So they both went to the same high school, not at the same time, obviously. Bob Walk, he graduated a little bit of time ago, but so we'll see Tyler Glasnow tomorrow. It should be interesting, guys.
Well, we mentioned that we're getting a glimpse of the future of the Pittsburgh Pirates as Frazier lines one out towards center. Here comes Herrera, and he makes the catch. There is Bob Walk, former Phil, as Murph said, former Pirate as well. He's working with Greg Brown tonight on television. There's Greg. Steve Blass is over on radio. We mentioned we're seeing a glimpse of the Pirates' future because you have Cole, who's the foundation piece, but he's still young. You've got Glasnow tomorrow, and then Jameson Taillon on Sunday. Another former 1st-round pick for the Pirates. Taillon throws a little harder than Glasnow. That's the issue the Pirates have right now, they feel, is their starting rotation. Francisco Liriano obviously pitched well in his last outing. Ground ball to short. Freddie Galvis not wasted any time this time, and he throws out Jordy Mercer. How about 11 in a row retired by Zach Eflin? We've completed 6. We'll move to the 7th. 1-0. Phillies on top. It's 1-0 Phils. The run scores on a Cameron Rupp RBI single. Zach Eflin has been very strong tonight. 5 strikeouts, just 2 hits over 6. Garrett Cole, 7 strikeouts over 6. He's done though. John Jaso has 1 of the 2 hits. It was an extra base hit, but he ran himself out of the inning. So as we go to the top of the 7th inning, Archimedes Caminero will be the new pitcher for the Pirates. And he will face Eflin. Caminero, 3.11 ERA. One of the strengths of the Pirates is their bullpen, with Melanson being the anchor at the back end. 3.62 ERA.
Quite a few walks on the year, but man, does he throw hard. 97 to 100. Slider 90 to 93.
And Zach Eflin swings at the first pitch for the second straight at bat. He flies out to center. Zach's thinking, I'm going to wait. I'm going to get this fastball, and I'm not going to wait for the slider.
Nope.
Back to the top of the order for Peter Borges.
The fastball, cut fastball, slider, and his split finger.
That's a lot of pitches for a reliever.
Yeah, so now you got to worry about a guy throwing 100 and throwing a 93-mile-an-hour split.
Boy, that 98-mile-an-hour fastball looked like it had a little cut to it too.
The advantage of facing a guy that throws this hard with a good split finger, he usually doesn't throw a split until 2 strikes.
Popped up near second base. Jordy Mercer's under it. 2 outs. Time now for our Jeep Stuff the Fans trivia quiz answer. All right, Matt, I know you know this answer. Which Pirates catcher hit for the cycle in May of 2000?
The kid, Jason Kendall.
Jason Kendall is correct. May 19th, 2000 against the Cardinals. Log back on to Phillies.com and find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. We'll mention that we brought him up this week because JT Realmuto was leading off for the Marlins. And Jason Kendall led off for most of his career. Here's Herrera, who has 2 hits tonight. Whacks the first pitch foul into the Phillies dugout. 0-1. Murph, did that come near you? Is Murph down in the dugout?
Yeah, that came near us. In fact, I'm going to hand it back here to this guy.
Oh, you should have just run with it, Murph.
Did you at least sign it for him?
No, I did not. Didn't want to devalue that baseball.
1 ball and 1 strike. Ben had a couple baseballs on his desk yesterday, and I signed them. By the way, you were talking about Kendall today. Why were you talking about Kendall today?
I had to do some kind of show for Root.
Root Sports
Root
is
Sports.
the home of the Pirates.
Had to talk about Jason Kendall and Brian Giles. What they try to do is every month they try to talk about a certain player. So I had to talk about those guys. That was fun, telling some stories.
So they're doing like a documentary on him?
Correct. I figured since I played with both of them in 2003, 2 birds with 1 stone.
Totally forgot that you played here. I really did. I totally forgot. Well, Doable fights it off foul.
I actually had one of my best years here in the big leagues. You know, considering plate appearances, at bats, home runs. But I mean, here, Citizens Bank Park, I mean, they're just great left-handed hitters ballparks, especially this one.
You like that 320 porch?
Yes. I like right center.
Upstairs to a Herrera. It's 2-2.
This is where the ball carries very well.
20 home runs, 57 runs batted in, a .292 batting average.
20 doubles.
He also had a triple.
Will that surprise you?
Not at all.
Stand-up triple.
Here?
I don't know. We're supposed to ask me that.
I'm looking at your transactions on the bottom of your career page.
Chapter 4 and 5.
It's unbelievable how many transactions there were. 3-2 pitch is smoked out towards center field. McCutchen going back. He can't get it. Off the base of the wall. Odubel Herrera might be back. That's his third hit of the night. 2 singles and a double. Now the Phils have a runner in scoring position with 2 men down.
Well, I will say this. If you hit a line drive over McCutchen's head in center field, you hit the ball extremely hard. That's a very nice swing. That's what I was talking about with using the lower half, driving that ball. There's the bat flip we've missed. That ball just out of the reach of McCutchen in center field. The ball just comes off the bat totally different when hitters use their lower half. Everyone thinks the big guy up top, you know, he's got big arms, big chest, big back. That doesn't generate the power. The power comes from making that contact first, which he did, and then all of a sudden the hips explode through the zone. That's why the ball drives off the bat like that.
And a base hit into right center field. Rounding third is Herrera. He'll score. Andres Blanco has given the Phils a 2-0 lead.
But that's back-to-back swings by Herrera, now Blanco. It's so important to keep your hips in there as long as you can. Watch his front hip. Stays closed right about the point of contact. That's where his hips fly towards the pitcher. They don't fly open. They don't go towards first base. They go straight towards the pitcher. That's why that ball drives so hard up the middle, or that's how you get that backspin.
If it opens up early, then it's ground ball to first base.
Yeah, or it's a weak fly ball to left field. Because as the hips open up, the barrel goes with it. The barrels drop below the ball. Now you're catching the bottom of the baseball.
Tommy Joseph takes outside, and now it's 2-0. Joseph tonight is 1 for 2 with a walk. 2-0 Phils here in the top of the 7th. Ray Searage, the pitching coach for the Pirates, peeking in on Archimedes Caminero. All this with 2 outs for the Phils. And it evens up the count 2-2. By the way, our crack research department down in the production cavity tells us that your triple that year with the Pirates came on the last day of the year. In Chicago.
Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
Fly ball to center field. Kenny Lofton lost the ball in the sun. Stand up triple, and I wanted to go for it inside the Parker, but the ball's already at home.
There goes the runner, and Joseph is hit by a pitch. That's the 3rd batter who's been hit by a pitch tonight for the Phils. Now remember, both benches were warned earlier when Zach Eflin hit Andrew McCutchen, but it's up to the home plate umpire or the crew chief, Tony Randazzo, to decide what the intent is. And the 2 additional hit by pitch, he does not feel there was intent to do it.
Almost look like he just hit shirt.
Yeah.
No skin, just shirt.
Caminero has done a pitching change with runners on first and second and 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Come on, Jared. Well, the Los Angeles Dodgers are paying their only visit to Philadelphia beginning Tuesday, August 16th. 3-game series wraps up on Thursday, the 18th. Chase Rice will be performing a post-game concert at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies have never done that. So come on out, watch the Phils and the Dodgers. Come see Chase Rice. Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets. Jared Hughes at his 35th game. An ERA of 3.03. And they've got Blanco dancing off the second base bag, but Harrison wasn't there to complete it.
That's a very good inside move right there.
Phillies have 2 runs on 8 hits. They've left 7 so far tonight. Scored single runs in each of the last 2 innings. And it's 2 balls and no strikes to Cameron Rupp. There is a drastic difference to the Phillies' numbers on the road compared to home. At home, they're hitting .218, averaging 2.9 runs per game.
Remarkable.
It really is. On the road, they're hitting .260, averaging 4.3 runs per game. Here is the comparison. ERA is better at home than on the road. Cervelli wanted that pitch up. It was down. It's now 3-1 to Cameron. Cameron should get a pretty good pitch to hit here. Kodiashi's on deck. You don't want to walk Rupp and load up the bases again.
Which means Blanco should have a good secondary lead at second base, 3-1.
He does. There's ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Introducing Storm Ranger 10 from NBC 10, the only Doppler radar system on wheels. It goes to the storm before the storm reaches you. For the most accurate, most reliable weather information anywhere, trust your NBC 10 First Alert Weather Team and Storm Ranger 10. Count on it. Clint Hurdle heading out to the mound. That's going to be it for Jared Hughes. Jonathan Neese is warming up in the bullpen for the Pirates. So another pitching change, the 3rd of its kind. We'll be back after this. Out to Citizens Bank Park on Sunday, August 14th for the Wall of Fame Fathead. It's free to all fans. Compliments of Toyota. It's all part of Alumni Weekend against the Rockies. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. We've got another pitching change. Jonathan Neese, a former starter for the Pirates, will take over. Coming out of the bullpen, another lefty out of the pen, taking over for Jared Hughes. Neese 8-6. ERA is nearly 5. Things have not worked out for Jonathan Neese. They acquired him from the Mets for Neil Walker. It's worked out for Walker. Three walks, 3 hit batters tonight for the Pirates. And Tyler Goodell will pinch hit for Cody Asche here in the 7th with the bases loaded. Fastball is in there. It's 0-1. Pete Mackanin decides to go with the righty against the lefty here, even though Asche's got good numbers against Jonathan Neese. Little bloop out towards center, and McCutchen is there. Side is retired, and the Phils leave him loaded, but they do get another run. Cody Asche's night is done. Time to stretch here at Pittsburgh. Phillies up 2-0. Zach Eflin is done here tonight, Matt. He continues to grow and continues to throw strikes.
Well, he continues to throw strikes. He continues to be aggressive in the strike zone and getting early outs on a few pitches. Making some quality pitches when he needs to. His fastball has tremendous movement so far. But I really like the fact that his slider has been starting for a strike and just barely going out of the strike zone. And he's getting a lot of swing and misses. That's why he hasn't walked anyone so far tonight. And he's got 5 strikeouts to go for.
He's retired 11 consecutive hitters. He's only allowed the 2 hits. And he's working with a 2-0 lead. Gregory Polanco will lead it off. Polanco has popped up twice, once to second, once to short. 65 pitches for Zach Eflin. First pitch fastball is in there. It's 0-1. Tyler Goodell remains in the game in left field for the Phils. After the game against the Blue Jays, Eflin went 2 2/3. He allowed 9 hits and 8 earned runs. His ERA was 27. I mean, you would expect it to be high. But now he's got it down to 3.61 with his effort here tonight. Another pop up for Polanco. And Freddie Galvis will call off Andres Blanco. I'm getting used to those guys now. I know it's Freddie most of the time. Every time the Phillies pitchers retire, the opposition 1, 2, 3. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. McCutcheon is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. Takes a little low, and it's 1-0. All right, let me get back to that Jim Thome story from before. I was waiting for McCutcheon to come up. There's only one out. I'm not going to run into the inning here. McCutcheon grounds it to shortstop. Galvis is up with it. And there are 2 outs. So he goes 0 for 8 in that game against the Nationals. Since 1913, a hitter, this is according to Fangraphs, a hitter has stepped to the plate 8 or more times without reaching base or recording a sacrifice. How many times would you think? I mean,
11 times.
118 times it's happened.
That's what I mean, times 10.
Yeah. And there have been 7 Hall of Famers that have gone 0 for 8 or more in a game, and Jim Thome is one of them. So McCutcheon was feeling bad after that individually, but they won the game. 0 for 8, Matt. That's a long day. He saw 42 pitches that day. Marte takes outside. It's 1-1.
That's actually a lot of pitches seen.
It's a lot of pitches.
Yeah, averaging a little over 5.
Outside.
Did you say 40 pitches?
42.
42. Well, Zach Eflin is either hiding the ball very well or he's getting very late break on that slider.
Over to third. Big hop for Andres Blanco. Well, whatever he's doing, he's gotten 7 innings tonight and has allowed only 2 hits. And he's minimized his pitches. We'll head to the 8th here in Pittsburgh with the Phillies on top 2-0. To you by Toyota. For great summer deals, visit your local Toyota dealer or buy at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. By McDonald's. Stop by McDonald's today and enjoy the new McPick 2 for $2.50 menu. I'm loving it. And buy your local Ford stores. Look at that skyline. I mean, we have a tremendous vantage point from where we are. We're high, but it is like a movie set across the river. They did it right when they built this ballpark. Zach Eflin's got a helmet on. Why not? Freddie Galvis batting right-handed for the first time. You surprised Jonathan Neese has struggled so much? ERA wise, I mean, he has 8 wins. But
no, I am. I think.
Out to the gap in right center field. That's going to split the gap and go to the wall on one hop. Freddie puts the brakes on at second base, a leadoff double.
You know, I am surprised because Neese has always been a guy that, you know, he lives on this outside corner, inside corner, just off the plate. But what's getting him in trouble is pitches like that right there. This is an 0-2 pitch, and watch how much of this plate this ball catches. It's up in the zone 1. Too much plate, 0-2 pitch. And Freddie does a nice job of driving that ball to right center. So that's where he's been getting in trouble, is his location of all of his pitches.
Nine hits for the Phillies. They've had 10 hits or more in more than half of their last 26 games. 14 of the 26 games they've had 10 hits or more. They're one more away from adding another number to it, even with the struggles they had on the homestand. They had a couple games where they reached double digits in hits.
Cesar has to hit this ball to right field.
Now you say that, but by his first swing, it looked like he was going to hit it to left field.
Right, and that's why I brought it up. His first swing was pull mode. 2-0 lead. Eflin, who swings the bat pretty good.
I would think they're talking about that in the dugout right now.
What? But as a hitter, you need to realize, you need to know that your job is to hit this ball to right field. What it does, it makes you stay on the ball longer. Now all of a sudden I can be able to drive this ball to right field.
Over to third. Galvis is chased back to second. Yeah, Matt, I think
that's not a good at bat.
Yeah, I think from the start of that at bat to that ground out, he was going to pull the ball.
I mean, if you're going with your first 2 times up, or first 2 times you're swinging that you attempt to hit the ball to right field and it just didn't happen. Now all of a sudden you go into battle mode and you hit a ground ball to third base. So be it. But you have to make the attempt of hitting that ball to right field.
First 2.
It's 2-0 in the 8th inning.
Yeah, because you don't want to bunt there because the pitcher is going to bat. They're not going to pinch hit for the pitcher.
And I'm not saying I want you to give yourself up by hitting a weak ground ball to right field or to the right side. You still think about driving that ball like Freddie did to right center.
Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Eflin strikes out, and they're 2 away. 2 outs. We'll go back to the top of the order. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. Time for our greater coverage of baseball presented by T-Mobile. Red Sox outfielder Mookie Betts had to leave Friday night's game with a gimpy knee, but not before he had an effect in the game. He led off the game with his 20th home run of the season, his 5th leadoff home run of the season, grounded out in his second at bat, and that's when he had to leave the game. Also, Dexter Fowler, the Chicago Cubs, returns to their lineup today after being out for about a month with a bad hamstring, and he also had an impact in that game. He also led off that game with a home run. So he also had a 2-run double. The Cubs lead that game 4-0. And a strange injury to Russell Martin, who took a sauna yesterday on the Toronto Blue Jays off day. He was taking a sauna, felt a little woozy, so he decided to step into a cold shower. He did that, and at that point he passed out. He slipped and fell. He hit his head. He also hurt his knee. Out of the lineup. It's going to be a couple days, they believe, before that knee feels better. The head is fine, but the knee not so much. So a freak injury for Russell Martin up there in Toronto, guys.
All right, Murph, we appreciate that update. And the Phils leave a runner at second base. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th inning. Zach Eflin has retired 14 consecutive hitters. And as we go to the bottom of the 8th, John Jaso, who is 1 for 2. He has one of the 2 hits. He doubled his first time up. Takes inside, and quickly it's 2-0. Now the Phillies do have bullpen action behind Eflin, even though he's at 77 pitches. But just in case, Hector Neris is starting to throw. There is Hector. He hasn't worked too many 3-ball counts here tonight. And that ball is ripped into right field. A base hit for Jaso, his second hit of the night. So he's 2 for 3. The first hit for the Pirates since the 3rd inning. Time now for our Hyundai defensive plays of the game. We've been flipping some leather here tonight, Matt.
Yeah, there's been some nice plays here. Mercer with a very nice play, aka Derek Jeter style, making an off-balance throw, getting the speedy Peter Borges, and then Odubel Herrera timing it right, getting back to the fence and making a very timely catch right there. Those are your Hyundai defensive play of the games, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
Francisco Cervelli is the batter. He'll take strike 1. 14 straight hitters retired by Eflin before that single. Back toward the middle. Galvis will charge and get the out at first. Ball just wasn't hit sharp enough to turn 2. Eflin learned his lesson earlier this season when he put his hand out on a ground ball back toward the box.
It's a smart play by Freddie Galvis. Instead of trying to force a play at second base, now you're up by 2. If he tries to make a tough play or an easy play coming in for a ground ball to first base into a tougher play by doing a flip or something to second base, could be a disaster. Next thing you know, you have first and second with none out.
Not a bad way to start this at bat for Gong by delivering that pitch just inside. Fly ball right field. Long run for Borges. He covers a lot of ground though. Makes the catch. Jaso will hold up at second. 2 outs here in the 8th. And now Josh Harrison is coming up.
You know, one thing about Zach Eflin is the movement of his fastball. That fastball right there looks like it's going to be outer third, but it's like a little natural cut. Sometimes he has a little natural, like a little sinker to it, and that's why he's getting those weak fly balls on the infield or in the outfield, because of it's going away from the barrel. It's hitting on the very end of the bat or jamming guys. I don't know if it's because it's crossfired a little bit. He kind of wraps his hand behind, you know, he wraps it a little bit. But we've seen swings like that all night from the Pirate hitters. You know, he keeps his hands nice and tight. And he doesn't, for a tall guy, he really doesn't bring that hand out and show you the ball for a long time. He kind of short arms it a little bit. And I think that's where a lot of hitters think, okay, the big tall guy, he's not going to have a short, you know, the short arm delivery. And his fastball and his slider gets on you a lot quicker than it looks.
Well, now it's 1-2 to Harrison. So you think 6'6" helps a little bit too with that?
Oh, for sure. Because if I'm facing the guy 6'6", I'm going to think, okay, he's going to have a delivery. He's going to have a slow delivery, and when that hand comes out of his glove, I'm going to have time to react. So he's bringing that hand out of his glove. You're thinking he's got it so far to go back before he lets that ball go. Well, he brings out, it's almost like he's throwing darts. Brings it back out, throws it. Brings it back out, throws it. Where you think he'd say, okay, he brings it out, now he throws it.
Now you may see the slider toward the outer edge.
Like, he keeps his hands nice and tight. See how he kind of brings his, he doesn't really bring his arm back to really get that leg push. He just kind of throws like he's playing darts. And you're hearing the 180.
Foul tip hung on to by Cameron Rupp. That ball was diving in on the hands, and Eflin leaves one in scoring position. 8 innings, no runs, just 3 base hits. We'll head to the 9th. The Phils looking for some insurance. Following the Phils-Dodgers game on Thursday, August 18th. If you want to check out Chase Rice, you could do that by just going online and listen to some of his music or to see some of his concerts. First time the Phillies have done that, so make plans for a great post-game concert at this year's Country Music Night. Order now at Phillies.com/Chase Rice. Top of the order is coming up. Actually, I should correct myself. What used to be the top of the order, instead it's the number 2 hitter, Odubel Herrera, who has 3 hits tonight. Swings at the first pitch against Jonathan Neese. Zach Eflin just sitting comfortably in the dugout. They're going to send him out there for the bottom of the 9th. Why not? They'll have some backup to him, just as they did in the 8th inning with Hector Neris. Going for his 2nd complete game in the month of July.
I love watching hitters. Herrera hits that ball and he's kind of pointing where he's supposed to hit that ball. He leaves his hand out there.
Actually, I think that's a good sign for him. He's engaged in what's going on. When he lines down the right field line, it is foul. I was wondering when he was going to start running. Unlike Colorado, balls do slice and hook here in Pittsburgh.
Although here they don't have a lot of time down the right field.
They really
corner.
don't. That's why he needed to run. Thank you, young man, for pointing out where that ball went. To the left side, Gong fields it and throws on the run just in time to get Herrera. Have a consumer complaint? Harry Hairston of the NBC 10 response team can help. Just visit NBC10.com or call 610-668-7377. NBC 10 responds. Count on it. Andres Blanco has been hit by a pitch and has singled home a run, subbing for Maikel Franco, who left after getting hit by a pitch. Over toward the hole and into left field, a base hit. So Blanco has 2 hits tonight off the bench. And the Phillies have reached double digits in hits.
Honestly, I believe with Blanco when he's hitting, I think if you threw him the rosin bag and it was straight, he'd swing at it.
You think he'd make contact?
Well, it's just amazing probably. It's just amazing that his game plan doesn't matter if it's a fastball or an off-speed pitch. If it's a strike, he's swinging at it. He told us that before.
Yeah. Being a pinch hitter as long as you are, I mean, that's his theory.
That's his theory.
Does it work? Well, obviously it does, but
yeah, I mean, it's a great thought process.
Fly ball to shallow center. McCutchen on the bottom of the P makes the catch.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the reason why it works, because the last thing you want to do come off the bench to be a pinch hitter and you get a big old fat fastball right down the middle and you're not ready to hit it, that might be the only pitch you get to see that at bat. Then you're all angry at yourself because you weren't ready to hit. Well, that's the same approach he takes when he comes in the 4th inning, or if he plays, or if he pinch hits, which I love because he's being aggressive.
Cameron Rupp slams one to right center field. It's deep. It is gone. An opposite field home run for Rupp. And the Phils have tacked on a couple of insurance runs. It's 4-0 here in the top of the 9th inning. We're going to give out some cash. Brian Cressman of Pittsburgh's just won $100 thanks to Cameron Rupp. And the McDonald's home run jackpot. That's 10 homers this year for Cameron.
Well, and just another opposite field home run. A fastball supposed to be away. Mentioned it earlier, but Neese getting hurt with his location of his fastball. Well, that hurt him. It was supposed to be away. Came in our 3rd. Big man crushes a line drive home run.
Rupp had been 1 for his last 15 before tonight. His last 3 at bats, he's reached base safely with a single and an RBI, a walk, and now the home run. Tyler Goodell flied out to center in his only at bat.
It is interesting, though, that watching the at-bats the team had at home compared to tonight's game, their approach, where they're hitting the ball.
Josh Harrison straightens up and throws out Goodell.
Hitting home runs to right field, left field, right center, using a big part of the ballpark.
Well, Zach Eflin's got a cushion now after the 2-run home run by Cameron Rupp. He's going for his 2nd complete game here in July. Game.
That's about the offense today for the Phillies. Back in the 6th inning, Cameron Rupp with the bases loaded. Hits a base at the right field for an RBI, which gave him 27 on the year at that time. And Blanco comes in the 7th inning. First pitch, 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Hits a single up the middle, scores Herrera, who scored 2 tonight. Then the big blast last inning, Cameron Rupp in the 8th inning. Gets a Neese fastball, inner 3rd, and crushes his 10th to right center. Given RBIs number 26 and 27, 28, I believe. Well, W. Mason deliveries of the game.
And now Eflin goes for another complete game. 2 complete games in July. Starts off Matt Joyce with a strike. It's 0-1. He's only at 90 pitches. That's pretty comfortable. You talked about pitches per inning. And we discussed how they're going down for him on average. Well, tonight's going to help. Phillies rookie through 2 complete games in the same season was back in 2009. Jay Happ did it. Happ was so good in 2009.
Yeah, he was.
Happ had a shutout that year, August 5th of 2009 against Colorado. outside. The complete game against the Braves that Eflin threw, he allowed 1 run on 6 hits. Ground ball to second. Backhanded by Cesar Hernandez. 1 away. Tonight he's thrown his fastball 60% of the time and his slider 32%. Those are his 2 dominant pitches, and he's mixed in, would you say, enough curveballs and change? Well, only 1 changeup, but
honestly, you know, with the curveball and a changeup, you don't mix it in unless you need to. And tonight he's got away with a very good fastball location and a very good slider tonight. I would say it's the best slider we've seen this year from him.
It's complemented the fastball.
Absolutely.
Big time.
And what's really been impressive is that last pitch, the 2-seam fastball, and being able to dot the fastball low and away. That's what happens when you get the low and away fastball, the weak ground balls.
1-3 on the putout. Pitcher to first base. And now he's 1 out away from another complete game. He's retired 19 of the last 20 batters that he's faced. Here's Gregory Polanco. He's popped up 3 times. Eflin, the youngest member of the Phillies rotation at 22 years old. The eldest statesman is Jeremy Hellickson. He's 7 years exactly to the day younger than Hellickson. When he made his major league debut this year, he was the 15th player to make his major league debut since the beginning of the 2015 season for the Phils. All part of the youth movement. And he's got 1 more strike to get. He's allowed 11 earned runs in his last 47 1/3 innings of work. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch number 100. Ground ball over to first, picked up by Tommy Joseph. A complete game shutout for Zach Eflin to start off this long road trip as the Phillies win it 4-0. It's his 2nd complete game in the month of July, and he was dominant here tonight against the Pirates. Well, Pete Mackanin has to like what he saw, not only from Eflin, but also in spurts from his offense here this evening.
Well, I think you'd really have to be happy with Eflin and Cameron Rupp as well. Putting down the right fingers and just having a great tempo tonight and being aggressive. That's all we're talking about. That's what he wants to do. Is he wants to be aggressive. He wants to get early contact, and that proved it tonight by getting a lot of weak ground balls and fly balls. That's why he's your Chevrolet player of the game tonight. The highlights we saw. Every pitch he throws right here, Savelli with an awkward swing on the slider, mixing a couple of curveballs when he needed to, but when he really had to, he went back with that good 2-seam fastball. Had a lot of guys swinging over top of it, a lot of ground balls, adding and subtracting on his curveball. That pitch there to Harrison was nasty with that sinker. And really just moving the ball in and out, keeping the hitters off balance. That's why he's the Chevrolet player of the game.
He retired 20 of the last 21 batters that he faced in tonight's ball game. He's got the baseball in his back pocket, and he is with Greg Murphy. Murph?
Yeah, he has a souvenir in that back pocket, and why not? 100-pitch performance, complete game shutout for Zach Eflin. And let's talk a little bit about, first of all, the game plan between you and Cameron Rupp. It looked like you guys were on the same page this entire game. Tell us a little bit about that.
It was flawless. We had a game plan going in. You know, attack the inside part of the plate, keep them guessing, really making them uncomfortable. And, you know, we were on the same page the whole time, and it's a heck of a lot easier like that.
Matt Stairs upstairs just said that he thinks that your slider today was the best we've seen out of you so far this season up here in the big leagues. Would you agree with that?
100%. Came to a conclusion where I was just going to throw it. Wasn't going to worry about anything. I was just going to try and throw it as hard as I can.
I saw you had a conversation with Pete Mackanin, a very brief one at the end of the 8th inning, and heading into the 9th. What was that? Was there any doubt you were coming back out for the 9th?
He said, "How do I feel?" And I said, "Great." And that was the extent of the conversation. I wasn't going to come out of the game. I wanted this game. And, you know, just a heck of a job by the defense. So Double in center, Petey and right, man, it was an awesome night.
Someone asked me today, what has been the difference for Zach Eflin after his first start and all the rest that you've looked so good? And I had an answer, but I'll ask you, what has been the difference, do you think?
Really just attacking guys, staying with the game plan, really just making sure you're comfortable out on the mound, getting on the same page as your catcher.